There is a strange rule in the natural hair community. If you want long 4C hair, apparently you're not supposed to wear it. You grow it, you moisturize it, you protect it, you celebrate every inch and then put it away. Braids, twists, bands, wigs, extensions. Keep those ends away. Keep those ends tucked until further notice. Because the moment you start wearing your hair loose too often, somebody will warn you. You're never going to retain length like that. And I understand where the advice comes from. But at some point, I have to ask, are we protecting our hair or are we putting it in witness protection? Because the only way I am allowed to have long 4C hair is by never actually saying it. Yeah, we need to talk. Welcome back to The Light. Today we are tackling disbelief. If you want to retain length with 4C hair, you need to keep it in protective styles and avoid wearing it out. And this one is interesting because unlike some myths, there is definitely truth underneath it. 4C hair can shrink dramatically. Our strands can coil around themselves. Loose ends can rub against clothes. They can catch things in the environment. More manipulation can mean more opportunities for breakage. So yes, how we style our hair can absolutely affect retention. But somewhere along the way, sensible advice like reduce unnecessary manipulation turn into do not touch that hair. Do not look at it. Put it back immediately in braids. Those are not the same message. Remember what we talked about in the genetics episode? Hair growing from your scalp and you keeping that length are two different things. Your hair can grow while your ends continue breaking. So when people say protective styling helped them grow their hair, what they often mean is protective styling helped me retain more of the length I was already growing. And that makes sense. If your hairstyle reduces daily combing, brushing, friction, and manipulation, your ends may experience less damage. Great. But here is where we need nuance. Protective style is only protective if it's actually protecting something, alright? Because we all have seen hairstyle label protective that are pulling the scalp so tightly that you can hear your follicles break. The name of the style does not protect your hair. The way you install it, maintain it, and remove it matters. Braids can be protective. Even wearing your hair in a bun or puff, yeah, you'll be surprised, can be protective. But all of those styles can also cause problems when they involve excessive tension, dryness, neglect, or rough takedowns. And I know this one personally. Sometimes the hairstyle is clearly telling you, take me down! And you are looking in the mirror like, but she is still cute. The edges are filing a complaint. Your scalp has contacted HR, but the style still serving. So you keep it. Probably cost you a lot of money. So it's gonna be a fine. So you think. And then later we call the style protective because that was category it belonged to. No, a style is not protective because Pinterest told you it was. If your edges are disappearing during the protective process, what are we exactly protecting? Now let us look at the opposite side. Does wearing your 4C hair out automatically destroy your retention? No. But wearing it loose may require more awareness. If your ends are rubbing against sweaters every day, if your hair is constantly tangling, if you are restyling it aggressively every morning, if you are combing through it every evening because the styler has collapsed, then yes, that routine can create more opportunities for breakage. But that is not the same thing as 4C hair cannot be worn out if you want it long. Those are two different conclusions. You can wear your hair out and still make choices that reduce unnecessary manipulation. Maybe you wear stretch styles, maybe you wear your shrunken fro, maybe you wear chunky twist and release them, or mini twist and twist it out. Maybe you wear your afro for several days without completely restyling it every morning. Maybe you protect your ends at night. Maybe you alternate between loose styles and tuck styles. The goal does not have to be hair out every day versus hair hidden for 6 months. There is an entire middle ground, and this is the part that bothers me. A lot of women enter the natural hair journey because they want to appreciate the natural hair texture. They want healthier hair, more length, more confidence. They want to stop feeling like the natural hair is something that needs to be corrected. Then somewhere during the growth journey, we create a new rule. Do not wear it too much or you will ruin your progress. So now we spend years growing the hair, but we are too scared to enjoy it. When exactly do we get permission? At brush strap length, waist length, Bon, do we receive an email? Congratulations, your hair is now long enough to leave the house. Because I'm not growing my hair so that future me can enjoy it. I also want current me to enjoy it. Is that possible? That does not mean ignoring retention. It means finding a balance between protecting your hair and actually living with your hair. And if you agree that growing hair should not require hiding it for the rest of the natural hair journey, hit the like button. Or if you completely disagree and you are currently watching this video with your hair safely tucked underneath your third or sixth protective hairstyle of the year, you can still like the video. We are a peaceful community, mostly. Okay, let's be serious. Back to the topic. I actually think sometimes we focus too much on the phrase protective style when what many people really benefit from is low manipulation. Those are related, but they are not identical. A low manipulation style is simply one that does not require you constantly redo your hair. And that could be braids, but it could also be your own twist. Anything that allows you to stop touching your hair every 15 minutes. Because sometimes it is not wearing your hair out that creates the problem. It is everything we do to make it look freshly styled every single day. Separate again, fluff again, comb again, brush again, spray again, tie again, retwist tonight, unravel tomorrow morning, perfect the edges, redo the front. Now we have manipulated the hair 12 times before Wednesday. Your hair may have been perfectly happy after Monday. We were the ones who kept scheduling meetings. And I can actually see this in my own hair journey. Before one of my biggest setbacks, I hid my hair under wigs for almost 4 years and my hair flourished. And trust me, I know what setbacks look like. In 2019, I left my hair in mini twists for basically the entire summer. It matted so badly that eventually I had to cut it all off. I spent almost 2 years wearing my own hair out, mostly in mini twist outs. And honestly, the freedom was phenomenal. My hair still grew, so that experience alone taught me that wearing my hair out was not automatically the enemy. But later, my hair care routine became longer and harder to maintain with my actual lifestyle. So I went back to braiding. This time, mostly with my own hair. And this is where I noticed something interesting. Even if the hair was technically protected, I was constantly touching it, redoing it, playing with it, and manipulating it. My two bun styles that I love so much. That was my go-to at the time. And today I can see the difference. My hair is shorter than it was after the first setback. The density is not quite the same. And even the overall look and color of my hair do not feel as good to me as they did back then. Now, don't get me wrong. I know I'm aging too, because we don't talk about this factor much. Age plays a big role also. So for my hair, I have learned something very important. It was never simply wigs good, wearing hair out bad. No. The bigger issue was how much manipulation my hair was experiencing. Ironically, I was retaining beautifully when my hair was hidden because I was leaving it alone. I also grew hair while wearing it out. I had at that time a routine that worked. And later, even with braids, constantly messing with my hair started working against me. That is why I keep coming back to low manipulation, not just protective styling. Sometimes the style is not what protects your hair. Sometimes the protection is simply you leaving your hair alone. Look at black men, black boys leaving it alone is key. Another issue is that protective styles can make us feel like the work is finished. Hair goes into braids and mentally, vacation. See you in 8 weeks. But the hair underneath still exists. Your scalp still exists. Your new growth still exists. And eventually you have to remove the style. That takedown matters because you can spend 8 weeks avoid touching it, 8 weeks avoiding manipulation, then undo all of that protection in 45 minutes, if not less, because you are tired and ripping through shed hair. And this is where people sometimes confuse shedding with breakage too. When your hair has been a long-term style, naturally shed strands have been trapped inside that style. So when you finally take it down, seeing a lot of hair can look terrifying, but not every strand in that pile broke off. The important thing is to remove the style carefully and not so you are not adding unnecessary breakage on top of the normal shedding. Again, the hairstyle itself is not magic. How you handle the hair before, during, and after matters. And this is another reason universal rules bother me. Some people retain length beautifully with braids. Some people's edges cannot tolerate braids very often. Some people love wigs. Some people's hairline absolutely does not love what is happening under that wig or what is happening when it's glued down here hair. Some people thrive wearing stretch loose styles. Some people get single strand knots just thinking about wearing their hair loose. That is why copying somebody else's exact growth strategy can be frustrating. You have to pay attention to the evidence coming from your own head. When you hair your hair out more often, are you seeing more knots, more breakage, more dryness? Do you need refresh, or is your hair actually fine? When you use long-term protective styles, are your ends improving or are your edges thinning? Do you retain more length or do you lose half of it during the takedown? That information matters more than somebody online announcing this is how you must grow falsy hair. There is also a psychological side to this. We can become so obsessed with length retention, that we start being afraid of our own hair. Let me explain. Do not wear it out. Do not touch it. Do not manipulate it. Do not let the wind see it. Do not let the cotton approach it without legal representation. And yes, healthy habits matter, but your hair is not a museum exhibit. It is part of you. Sometimes you will wear a style that creates a little more manipulation because you love how it looks. Sometimes you will wear your afro, whether it's shrunken or stretched. Sometimes you will stretch it. Sometimes you will put it away for a few weeks because you genuinely cannot be bothered. That happened and that will happen. It happened to all of us. All of those things can coexist. The goal is not perfection. It is learning what level of manipulation your own hair can tolerate without sacrificing the health you are trying to maintain. If you enjoy wearing your falsy hair out but still care about retention, think less about hiding the hair and more about reducing unnecessary damage. Be gentle when detangling. Protect your hair at night. Pay attention to your ends. Avoid repeatedly styling the same fragile areas. We're talking the front for most kinky, coily heads of hair. Be careful with friction. Do not force through knots, and give the hair periods where you simply leave it alone. No matter the outcome. You may decide protective styles are part of the strategy. Great. You may decide you prefer your own twist or stretch styles. Also great. Your routine should serve your hair and your lifestyle, not imprison both of you. So can protective style help some people retain length? Absolutely. Can wearing falsy hair loose create more opportunities for friction, tangling, and manipulation? Yes. But does that mean you must keep your hair hidden in order to grow it long? No. You can protect your hair without permanently hiding it. And a hairstyle does not earn the word protective just because it involves extensions or wigs. Let's be clear about this one. So the belief that falsy hair must stay tucked away if you ever want to see real length, daylight. Now I want to hear from you. When does your hair retain the most length? When you wear protective styles? When you keep it stretched, blown out? When you wear your natural hair out? Or do you switch between all four? And have you ever kept a hairstyle longer than you knew you should? I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of doing this. Do I say it? But no, I do. All right. Have you ever kept a hairstyle longer than you knew you should simply because it still looked good? Please make me feel less alone in the comment section. Now, if you missed our investigation into whether long-haired falsy YouTubers, female YouTubers, are really just genetically blessed, watch that one next. But if you are ready to continue forward with season 2, the next slide gets even more controversial. Wash and goes do not work on real falsy hair because the second somebody produces visible curves, suddenly the internet needs to investigate whether she is allowed to call herself falsy. If the episode is already available, click it below. And if it's not there yet, subscribe and turn on your notifications because it is coming next. Until next time, girl, take care of yourself and your beautiful falsy hair crown. Bye, sis.